Should not have been rude.
They were darn rude, and that ticked me off. So I really snapped it out. I said, "Why don't you get down there and move your car so I can get in my drive?" Somebody parked right across it, and I snapped it right out. So then
That's very un-Mason-like.
It is. Exactly.
Then they got, well, just because it was a woman, they were mad because they were like a woman anywhere near their meetings. So somebody came down and moved it so I could get my car in.
I've always tried to keep an eye out for that. When I come across to go to the meeting, I'll look and see if there's anybody too close to your driveway and go up and say, come on, guys.
They parked right
They're being good
directly
neighbors here.
across
We need
it.
to be good neighbors,
Yeah, they parked right directly across it.
Well, that would be one less hassle. I mean,
Yeah.
for the Masons to own the whole thing would be, then you control the whole deal.
Well, I thought of that. And the other one I thought of is if they wanted to move it would be good, I think. And the other one is Masons here were pretty good and active. But other places they're having troubles keeping any kind of membership.
I think.
And I'm thinking if I ever did that, and I'm not saying I'm going to,
You could attract more people.
I'd say to them, you don't use your top half. If you fail to use your top half, in other words, if the group goes defunct,
Yeah.
it reverts back.
Oh,
You
yeah.
could do that.
Yeah.
And that would
Yeah.
make sense. Yeah.
So then it wouldn't be turned over and used by
Yeah.
somebody to make a retail store.
Right.
Or,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
put some conditions
Oh,
in.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. You okay?
Like I say, some of it's a good thing, and some of it's a headache
Yeah.
that I'm going to have to deal with probably.
Well, you got options though. That's for sure.
Yeah.
There aren't.
Well, I'm
you know,
glad you're getting it anyway.
Yeah, there aren't. It's hard to find a
Whatever
house
you
with
decide.
5 acres in the middle of a town. You know?
Exactly.
It's pretty rare.
Yeah.
Even though when Dundon moved in, or I think it's Lieber, that we found that the lines weren't where we thought they were. But hey,
That little jog down
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that is what it is.
Well, and he's wanted to buy behind the library.
That strip, I think it's
Yes.
the width of the library
Yes.
down to the jog and the fence. In other words,
Yeah.
there'd be no
Yeah.
jog, right?
Yeah.
But Daddy said that would include. He thought that was going to include the incinerator, so he would never do it. So, because
Yep.
they burn all their trash. So.
That I think my family's happy because I'm getting over that. I'm getting a recycling dumpster or shredding dumpster.
Oh,
Yeah.
My kids have had a fit that I'm going to get fined for burning in the incinerator.
Isn't it grandfather?
Why? Isn't
No.
it legal to burn
No.
in an incinerator? Not even in an
Well,
incinerator?
in an incinerator, I don't know. But burning barrel, of course, is like
I-
$1,000 fine or something.
I
or,
think we checked on that, and
I thought it was grandfather.
Daddy was grandfathered somehow.
I hope, but I kind of decided I'm
if
going
you
to get
had
over
an
it anyway.
incinerator, it was
Yeah.
okay. I think we checked on that.
Well, if it's shredding, it's not bad for bank documents, though.
Exactly.
Gosh.
That's why I've
Well,
been insisting on burning.
Mm.
Most
Yeah.
of our regular trash, paper, goes in the dumpster. But anything bank
Right.
Yeah, you
goes in
burn
the
it.
plastic bags
Yeah.
and tied in a plastic bag. And I carry
Personally
the
burn
plastic bag down there and
Right.
make sure it's burned.
Yeah. You got no problems.
Then I don't have to worry
Nope.
about
Yep.
blowing around someplace.
Nothing's ever coming back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't need a bath. I don't need a bath. No, I bathe regularly.
Yeah, I think Mom's right. I think Daddy did check on that.
Yeah.
And somehow he
Yeah, I
was-
think he
Well,
did.
at least
He
that's
had
what he
an
said he did.
incinerator.
He
I
said
think
he
it was
did.
his
grandfather.
That doesn't
Don't
necessarily mean he
worry.
did.
Yeah. Sort of like the house insurance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, okay. Here we go, huh? Here's my thoughts. Okay.
Tomato to bank. Projected closing date, seller attorneys, buyer's attorney. Okay, we don't really have an attorney, but...
I think you do, actually.
Do we?
But that's not my business. That's yours.
Oh, you have the guy
Oh,
that you
that's
use for...
Mr. DeBonis.
Yes. Were you happy with him?
Yes. Yeah, I thought he was very
I think
well.
it would be
Mom
very
liked him.
reasonable for you to use him again, if that's what you want.
Pulteney.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because he just did, I think, from what I can tell, he was the one that did the deed from her to
Yeah, he was.
the
Yeah.
three of you, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Make perfect sense. I think cheaper for you, because he's already done the work. He's familiar with
Yeah.
the whole
Okay.
Right.
bit.
Yeah,
That makes
he
sense.
did the medical power of attorney now for Tim and I, and
Yep.
and he did Mom's last will and testament too.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, that's fine.
Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
He's
You,
very
you
good.
dealt with him. I never dealt
Very good, and he
Oh,
has
he's a fine man.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
a nice man.
I've never
very
met him.
nice.
Yep.
Mom liked him a lot.
Yeah, I did.
He was very gentle and very informative with Mom, and made sure that she knew everything that we were doing. And yeah,
That's all
he
right.
was very, very nice.
You're gonna be a Virginia
He
dog.
said his wife wants him to retire, but this is his life.
You've got to get used to it.
Yeah, if he's already done the work, the legwork with the deed, then he's already done all the,
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
hard,
and
the
you're-
hard part's done.
And your
Go get me
part
a
really
Kleenex,
as a
would you
seller
please?
is not very
Some right by my
complicated.
chair there. In a box.
Now the buyer. Ay, 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 I'm finding out
What?
how much stuff there is to do for the buyer.
Well, in Virginia, probably, and Jersey. I don't
Oh.
know what the rules are up here. But there's already been a
Oh,
title
thank
search
you,
done,
dear.
right? Because he couldn't have changed the deed. He couldn't have messed with the deed, right? If
Yeah.
there's any liens against
Yep.
the house.
Right.
And I've got to confess, I've had a title search done already.
It's all right.
Oh, that's
So
good.
part of my work is
No,
already
that's
done.
no
Yeah.
Good.
You never know what pop. You never-
No, you don't. We've experienced that.
Well, it's been kind of interesting because I had a title search done. I maybe should put a shadow on my attorney, but I had a title search done, and I know this place well enough. I got the title search back. I said, "That's not right," and "That's not right." I
really?
called them up. I said, "I think you need to change." They had it all goofed up. That you, let's see, they had you from Shoreham,
Oh, really?
and
Oh,
it
that
was
was-
a mess.
Oh boy.
Okay, projected closing date.
What are you thinking? You're saying toward the end of January, right?
Yeah.
Now?
Well, we'll have Mom in Virginia and moved in. We'll travel down the 20th. We'll move her in on the 21st.
Oh, we are. Oh, okay.
All right, so let me look
And
at
we're
my
coming that
calendar.
week before to pack all the things that she's going to need.
Okay.
And then
2
you're
days before the
fine.
20th.
Mark, you're fine with us coming up and having an auction in the spring?
Yep, don't talk about that. That's on my
Okay.
list. Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, you
So
give
we're
me-
moving her on Sunday, the 20th.
No.
No, you probably go
We
down.
will be in Virginia. We are leaving this house on the 20th, and we will be in Virginia on the 20th. Then the truck will get unloaded on the 21st, which is Martin Luther King's birthday.
The 20th is a Sunday.
Then that's
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so then we need a closing a couple of days before you leave, in other
Yeah.
words.
Yeah, probably. What day are you coming up?
I'm coming up that whole
The
week.
14th, the week before the 20th.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So we need a closing. I'll tell you right now, we need a closing then like on Friday, 19th, the 18th maybe.
The
Okay.
18th. Friday.
All right, I gotta
Sounds
be
good.
here for that, right? I gotta sign. Do I
Yes.
have to sign?
Yes.
Yeah, I would suggest.
Technically, you do not, I don't think.
Okay.
Because in the deed that was, your
Right,
mother
Mom is
deeded
to
the
sell.
house to you, both of you, but she retained life usage and the
Correct.
exclusive right to sell.
Okay, so
Yeah.
then you really only need
So
my
I don't think we
signature.
do,
Okay,
but
good.
on the other hand, I think my attorney's going to say better that
Better
we
say
have
than
all
sorry.
three parties
So
to it.
there's
Yeah.
no way to contest anything. Okay.
Right.
So there's no ifs,
Sure.
ands, or buts about it.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
So are we talking about then, is that all right?
That
Friday
sounds
the
good.
18th?
Yep. So I'll take off. Figure out what days I'm gonna take off.
Yeah, we're going to get that schedule set so that we know.
Yeah.
Because
Till she got her closing date set, I didn't really want to.
Made me think of something, but I can't think what it was now. My attorney would like, as I wrote to you, I think if it's okay, if you're happy with Devonis,
Mhm.
I'll put my attorney in touch with Devonis.
That's fine.
You probably ought to call Devonis and tell him this deal's in the works,
Okay.
so that my attorney doesn't catch him by surprise.
Do you want to do that since you?
I
Or do you want me to
won't
do
be
it?
able to do that until I get home. Until after the new year. I don't think anyone's going to
That's
be in the
fine.
offices.
Yep.
But
you,
yeah, I
you've
can
dealt
do
with him. I've never
Yeah,
talked.
and let me get note cards so that I know exactly what I'm supposed to do.
Kind of bittersweet being
Yeah.
here for last Christmas.
Yeah.
I know, I thought of that last night.
I thought of that as I was blowing snow by the side, going by on the sidewalk. The typical yard full of cars,
Yeah.
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 except you guys were all good and didn't park up by the church where the town has.
No,
Yeah.
we quit doing that when they asked
Yeah,
us
you did
to.
it. You did all right.
Okay, 1. Call Mr. Devonis.
Joy.
Well, how's
Okay,
it?
when I call Mr. Devonis, I'm just telling him that we're selling the house, and would he represent us in
Yep.
that? Okay.
Yes.
And the closing date's 1/18.
Right.
And tell him that Benjamin Deppman, Deppman, just the way it sounds, Deppman, will be
Benjamin.
contacting him.
Okay. Good.
And then I think the rest, Benj Deppman, for example, and Devonis will just have, they'll ship papers back and forth.
Okay.
And based upon what we kind of agree on here in a few minutes,
Okay.
they'll do it, but based upon what we agree to.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay. Now, yep, I'm interested to hear you say a truck, so some of the stuff is going to go with your mother on the 20th.
Yeah, we're taking the furniture to furnish the house that's down there.
Yep.
So anything like her pots and pans, family pictures, all of that, anything that's not going to get auctioned
Yep.
is going to Virginia.
2 beds, enough to furnish 2 bedrooms. And,
Right.
And
Living
obviously
room.
it's a small 3-bedroom ranch.
And so it's none of my business, actually. I'm just curious.
No, ask
That
away.
week that you come before the 20th, in other words, some type of moving company or a truck or
Oh
something.
no,
Yeah.
we're renting a Penske and we are the
So
moving
we got
company.
a moving
Okay, all right.
The tomatoes are the moving,
Moving
company.
company.
Okay, all right.
There'll be lots of cars here.
Okay.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
Because that's no small challenge.
No.
well,
We came over and looked at the house not long ago, and I'm thinking, ooh, somebody got a lot of work to do
well, the good news is it will be split up because you can only furnish take so much to put in a small house.
Right.
So then in the springtime, it's at least less of a
Yep.
burden, you know.
Yep.
Hopefully the snow cooperates.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
here.
hoping.
Would have been nice if we'd had the winter like last winter.
Yeah,
we didn't have a
right.
whole lot of snow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it could be gone in 3 weeks.
So
You
we're
never
still
know.
going. Okay. I'm inclined to, as we talked about, holds back some
Ten-
money to make sure you guys do your work.
10,000. I think.
10,000, is that all right?
It is. Yeah.
Okay, now I have a question for you.
Sure.
In the carriage house, in the upstairs portion, that's all Captain Wright's stuff. Are we responsible for that too?
Yes.
No. He's still got high collared shirts and
Yeah.
Yeah, we never put anything up
The
there.
library might be interested in some of it. I don't know.
well, it's all his naval books and Susan B. Wright's college books and
That's fine if you want to leave that.
okay.
I would have asked. I was in that same barn. And you're going to have an auction, I guess, right?
Yes.
Please don't let Broughton sell in that barn. There's shutters.
And
Oh, no,
I already
anything
we
that's-
Yeah,
already,
we were
yeah.
saying
Shutters,
that.
storm
Yep.
windows,
We
anything
already-
that you might
Yep.
run
Yeah.
onto.
Anything
that
in
is-
his house is yours. We're
That's
not-
what I
Yep.
told Tim. I said
Okay,
we were just
great.
in there, and I said, look, anything that belongs to the house stays with
And
the
we can
house.
put
Yeah.
we can put that in writing too. Just
Yeah,
so that
we
there's
can.
no,
Yes.
We already knew that. Yeah.
just so there's no
Okay.
nobody can argue that.
Yeah, there's an old trunk that came with the house. That was Wright's. That's up there. We just figured.
This retainage can be
Okay.
handled 2 ways.
Okay.
It can
Escrow
be handled where I
account.
just don't pay you until the date,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
Or it can, if you think there's going to be a problem, we can put it in the hands of an escrow agent. In
I,
in other words, do you want it informal or do you want it formal?
it's up to you. I don't care.
No, I don't either. We're
I don't-
good. We trust you.
Informal. Okay.
It is a Herculean task, though. I will
Yeah.
It
say.
is.
And it's going to require. We're trying to figure out how many dumpsters we're going to need
Yeah.
and the cost of that because we're going to need dumpsters.
one of the things you may choose or may not choose to do, and again, it's none of my business, my mother's house.
Yeah.
I gave you the name for Tom Broughton, the auctioneer.
Yep. I have
Yeah.
an email.
He was great. He has a couple of guys that work with him to prepare for auctions. He came and worked at my mother's house. There were 2 or 3 guys for 2 days. And we were there, family members were there,
No.
and we would pick out things that was important to us as family that we didn't want to have thrown away. And then some stuff we'd say, well, go ahead and throw it away. He'd say, oh no, that'll bring $50 at an auction.
Right.
Okay.
And we had a big dumpster, and those boys, not us,
Loaded the
those
dumpster.
boys lugged all the stuff out to the dumpster and threw it in the dumpster. They worked their butts off.
Okay.
And I think
He's
I
probably
paid
gonna need 4
them,
boys for this house.
I maybe paid them $600 for 2 days worth of real
that's-
rugged
that's
labor.
Money well spent. then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just, that's something
Okay.
you might want to think about.
We gotta
And can
come
we
up-
name drop you?
Sure,
Okay.
absolutely. Because it worked pretty well
It's
up to
okay.
my mother's house right now.
It's okay.
My mother's house is, every drawer is empty, every closet's empty, everything is thrown away that's junk.
Yeah.
And when the guy got done, one of Tom Broughton's guys, has everything is laid out. In other words, quilts,
Right.
you know, are laid over the back of a sofa or on a bed, or
Those
so.
already
So for the
staged.
auction, they're all ready for the
Right.
auction. They've done their auction prep.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
a suggestion.
Yeah.
So I guess they could. So they could do that long before the auction, then, huh?
Well, they could, or when you come to do it,
Yeah.
if you don't want to do it all, for my
Yeah.
part, I would suggest it's the best $600 or $700 you can
sounds like
spend.
Yep.
sounds like
Plus
money
they'll
well
know
spent.
what's
I think we'd
valuable.
pay more than that, wouldn't we?
Because those guys were black before they were done,
I
dirty,
bet. Oh,
tired. Anyway,
Spend
okay.
their money.
Plus, like you said, they know what's going to sell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
you hate throwing stuff
And they
out
knew what
because-
was not junk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it
You know,
wouldn't
we
get
start to
that
throw
done.
away a children's toy,
Yeah.
and they say, "Oh no, 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 no!" You know, that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've seen that.
so 10 informal.
Yeah.
That's more than reasonable because it costs all of that. To
You
clean the
probably
place out.
can't tell me for sure, which is fine. But do you have a kind of a date that you would like to say all clear date? You haven't talked to him about an auction
Not
date
yet.
No,
No.
because until everything was formalized with selling this and getting her house down there,
Yeah.
I didn't want to try to.
Yeah,
Put
we didn't
the
want to do
cart before
anything
the
until we
horse.
were absolutely sure that everything had gone to the underwriter and we were on the road to
Mhm.
closing.
I don't know, Easter.
Because see, I don't
What's
know the
Easter?
people that we're buying it from. It's. I think somebody bought it to flip it,
Yeah.
and it's. Yeah. So
When's Easter this year?
don't know. Aaron.
iPhone.
I think it comes early. I think it's in March.
It's in March. I don't know. It's still awful cold up here. I'm just.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
was saying.
you need to talk to Tom Broughton to get an idea of how early in the spring he'll do an auction. And I assume you want an auction here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
kind of like they did when Maple Grove died.
Yep. Okay.
Same kind of deal, where everything was. I mean, I thought that was when I was little. I thought that was pretty well run, and that
Yep.
everything's, it's.
If that's, I mean,
you're the one that's.
31st.
right. I mean, it'll be yours by then. So.
I'm going to talk to Benj Detman, who's my attorney. I'm certainly more than happy to have you have an auction here.
Okay.
The one that I'm not concerned about, but I am concerned about. And of course, I've got an attorney in my family next door, so I just
Yeah.
been picking Rusty's mind. And he said Broughton will have insurance in case somebody's hurt at an auction.
Okay.
Okay.
'Cause there's
But that's
no
one thing
homeowner.
I'm going to ask, just for
Right.
sure,
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
is
wondering
who's
about
got the liability,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Good idea.
March 31st is Easter.
Yeah.
that. Well, when's the homeowners paid up till?
Thanks what?
The homeowners paid up
I'd
till.
have to
Oh,
look at
yeah,
that.
that's true.
Because you don't have to, even though you don't have to cancel it, even though.
I think
Yeah, but once the house
That's
changes
true.
hands,
That's probably
it's
I
maybe
a
think-
moot
null and
point.
void.
there's another suggestion I've got here. I can't say that I was very good parishioner in Mass this morning because after we talked to you,
Yeah.
I meant sitting in Mass going, okay. I suspect you're going to want on the 18th or the 19th or the 20th to cancel your homeowners because you won't own it.
Yeah, that's true.
Then I'm going to make a suggestion, I think. This was Rusty's idea.
Renter's insurance?
I've told you that I would let you stay for nothing, and I
Yep.
still intend to do that.
Okay.
Rusty's suggestion was that you agree at the closing to pay me $25 a month for rent.
Just so there's something and nobody can say
Okay.
anything.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay, that's more
So
than, more than fair.
then if you're paying $25 a month, right, you can get a renter's policy for a short length of time, if you wish to, for liability or for contents.
Because Pop went years without having any insurance.
I know that, man.
Ah.
That was scary.
We didn't know that.
Yeah.
But that's just a suggestion
Okay.
again.
Yeah, that's
You
fair.
may
Yeah.
not figure the contents that are left for the auction are worth the hassle, which is not a
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, you don't want to eat into whatever you might make for the auction. That's just what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Okay.
If he's going to have some type of, yeah, I mean, they must have some type of auction day insurance, like a 1-day
Yes, he
policy,
does.
a 1-day policy.
Rusty's comment, my family attorney
Yeah.
says that he's covered by insurance to have it on site.
Okay.
Okay.
So
In case,
then
in case his tent fell on somebody or somebody
Somebody
falls and breaks
slips-
a
right,
leg.
slips and
Right.
falls
He's
down
got
the
that.
step. Okay, yeah, then I think that's all we really you really need.
Yeah.
So I'm going to write in here. I'm going to talk to my attorney about $25 a month rent.
It's more than fair.
Okay?
Yep.
And I do realize if you're paying me $25 a month, when you come up to do the cleaning and stuff, there's no reason you wouldn't stay here, I would think.
Oh, okay.
Right? That's up to you.
Okay. Yeah.
You're welcome to do that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, we're gaining. We don't know the auction date. An all clear date, I'm still back at.
Oh, well, we don't know until we know the auction date,
Yep.
right? So, don't you have to talk to the auctioneer about that and see when he'll do the earliest spring auction.
Yeah, I'll call him this coming week.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to put a question mark there.
So,
You emailed me his info, so I have his contact information.
Yep.
yeah.
Okay. The next 2 or 3 items don't mean a
You're
thing.
gonna have the week before Easter. Well, not that it matters, and we could take any time. As far as vacation goes for school, you're gonna have the week after Easter. We're gonna have the week before Easter. But
Oh, what do you mean? Our vacations don't coordinate?
the school vacation.
Well, remember, we live in a very largely Jewish community,
We celebrate
so it's
Passover.
Passover.
Oh, I see.
The kids get off.
So they get off the week
I mean,
earlier instead of-
obviously, that's
Josh is
Zach
going to be
is
going
gonna-
anyway.
Oh,
So
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a man now. Whatever.
Well, I've been a very good worker. I never take off, so I've got like 63 days built up. So I've only taken 10 of those for Mom this
Yep.
year. That's the most I've ever taken in my life. But I'm taking 5 more. So
So you want to call the auctioneer, babe, and then we'll
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see what he says, and then I can email you what he tells you for the date, and we'll have X
That's
amount of
fine.
days past the auction to have it cleaned out.
Yep.
And we'll obviously,
Okay.
hopefully, the grounds. You know, you don't want the spring mud season.
Yeah, he's not going to.
No.
He's not going to do it. I'm betting he's going to do an auction
June-ish, May-ish.
Mayish, toward the end of May.
Mm.
I'm just thinking the all clear day may be 1 June.
Okay.
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 Yeah, if you gotta have dry ground to drop dumpsters.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you don't want them mired in mud. That's
Sure.
for sure.
Don't do that.
Not on the leather.
All right. So,
I mean, you could tentatively put June 1, I guess.
they're going to do, this is just a common thing at the closing, they're going to prorate propane, they're going to prorate fuel oil,
Okay. Yeah, that was going
they're
to be
going
my
to
next
prorate
question.
taxes, which is just a common thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think the buyer and seller is Constance. Middle initial?
E, right?
C.
C?
Constance Glow Tomato.
Well, she uses her maiden name, but she does have a middle name, Emma.
Yeah.
But she always puts C.
I've got your social security number somewhere.
Yeah.
I do, I guess.
Do you need it? I think it's in her wallet.
I think I've got it.
Okay.
Roseanne, R-O-S.
A-N.
Well,
I thought you made that. I read your email and said, nah.
That's what I said.
I've never
too.
seen it done
well, how
that
about
way.
That's a
the?
tip.
Well, technically, it's Roseanne. She's got a story behind
Because
that.
I was like, this is not how you spell Roseanne.
When we were getting our passports to go to Montreal, but before Daddy died, we were all going to go to Montreal. And I could not find, what I thought was my birth certificate actually ended up being just a record of live birth. So I had to get a new, and on that it said Roseanne. And I called Mom and said, Mom, my name is spelled wrong on my birth certificate, and she said, oh honey, we saw no need to tell you, but when you were learning to spell your name, you had a long first name and a long last name, and you never could get finished before the teacher moved on. So you shortened your name, and we just left it like that. So I said, now that I've got my birth certificate, I said, now somewhere written down, because they made me explain that story, I said, somewhere written down in official records, dumb kindergarten kid couldn't spell her name.
Oh dear.
So the deed from her to you just recently though was just R-O-S-A-N.
S-A-N.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
How does that work if you go about
Your
officially
married name, I
changing?
can't think.
Oh, Hunter.
Hunter.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that was a pleasure.
Social Security number?
137
137.
54 0643.
Timothy J.
Let's see.
151
March, April, May.
789736.
So,
And Roseanne lives in what township? Town?
at Colonial Beach. And at closing, once we find out when the auction is at closing, we'll have the total of rent for you. So right then and there.
Make it different.
Okay.
I don't care if you ever pay me the rent.
Oh, okay.
The idea of it's just that it's
It's on paper.
formal-
on
agreement.
paper.
Okay.
So liability for contents is yours clearly.
Right. Okay.
You're a tenant.
Yeah.
So if you come in Easter, right? If you come for Easter to start cleaning and stuff and stay here, we have a tenant owner relationship. That's all I'm trying to do by that.
Okay.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even have thought of that.
No, me neither.
And Tim, township.
Cherry Hill. NJ.
Okay.
Somebody told me Tina did too.
All right.
Tina didn't start real early going gray.
No.
No.
I think on the closing date, after the closing date, you'll go on the 20th, right?
Yes,
I
we're.
probably.
Lord willing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're.
yeah, that's fine. On the 20th after you leave, I'm probably going to change the locks
Oh, okay.
because it belongs to me,
Yes.
No problem.
right?
Yeah.
Conversely, it's kind of an interesting situation here because you're going to be gone. I've got contents of yours in my house or the bank's
Yeah.
house, right?
Right.
I've got to be able to come in, and I hope you'll trust me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
I've got to
Yeah.
be able to
Don't
come in and keep heat and stuff
Yeah.
on.
Right.
Of course.
You got a key now, don't you?
Huh?
Don't you have a key now?
Yes, I do.
You've always had a key.
I
that's-
think
that's
we
a-
trust you.
That's exactly. Rusty said, you know, you may want to talk to him about changing the locks because then caretakers she's had,
Yeah.
people. I don't
Yeah.
know, how many,
That's
I don't know how
true.
many keys are out running around.
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, that is true.
Well, actually, probably nobody has one. Mom just keeps one under the thermometer on the back porch.
Well, Jim changed that back lock, so I don't think there's too many of those
There-
keys
yeah.
running around because
Yeah.
we didn't even have keys.
No,
and I don't think I don't have a key.
I have an old one.
And I don't think anyone has a key to the front door.
Nope.
No. I might have one at the side door.
See, Hey, just anybody's got it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got a key to the front door?
Not the front door, maybe the side door.
So
I
if
don't
we
think
come
there's
up,
a key to this side door either.
if we come up to clean, Mark, we'll just give you a call.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Probably I'll end up hanging one key where we know where it is, or you know where
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just I don't know how many caregivers.
Right.
Well, there's one hanging out there now.
I know, Mama. Yeah. Yeah. That's how we get in.
I want to make. I shouldn't joke about it.
What's that?
If Joe were here, I'd make this joke. I'd say I want to make sure that Mrs. Eamon doesn't get back in.
Oh, Mark, she
She
has
called.
already called.
She's called, and she called
Man,
to check on
she's
whether I
crazy,
was
that
lying or
lady.
not. She called somebody else.
She called Mark.
She's a
Yeah.
piece of cake.
Yeah.
I'll
She
tell you.
wanted to
She's a
know
piece of
about the
cake,
house
alright.
in Virginia and how many bedrooms it had.
Yeah.
See, I told her I'm going to live with my daughter because I knew if she knew I had a house, she wouldn't pay any attention to me saying.
She'd come right down.
She'd
So
come
see,
right
I
down.
wasn't so far off about this
No.
key thing.
Yeah.
Something
No,
not right
you
with that
can't-
lady, man.
you
She's
can't
not right in the
trust-
head.
And she even called somebody to see whether I told her the truth.
She
or
called
not.
Betty to
Yes,
see
she
if
called Betty.
yeah.
Very bad.
She's
And
a-
I didn't lie to her. I just didn't offer up that. I told her that. I said, oh, well, no. I said, that was the house that was directly behind us, and that deal fell through. They decided not to sell. So, and I said, but if you come, and I just said, if you come, you will have to stay in a hotel. So,
Just didn't offer up that there was another deal.
right. I just didn't offer that we'd found another house.
she's something else.
That's, yeah.
I think I'm done because we're going to want to think about, but not until 20th of January.
Okay.
About reading out the electric meter
Yep.
and switch oil accounts, switch propane accounts. There we
Cancel
go.
seller
Cancel the
insurance.
seller's
Yep.
insurance. I think, and depending upon what you want to be thinking about your tenant's insurance.
You did. I think you already added. You added
Now,
your
since
name
Joe's-
on all of that stuff. I'm pretty sure.
Since Joe died, they're
I
responsible
don't know, Tim.
for
You
putting
did all
me-
that.
keeping
I did
the
not do
thing-
any of
Well,
the
the
calling.
Yes, I
phone
don't
you
check
did.
it any.
Yep.
You know,
Okay.
like he did.
That automatic fill.
Yeah, he wouldn't let them do it.
Yep.
But that would I've turned everything over to them.
Yep.
To
The
keep-
Files brothers just came
Yeah, 2
yesterday.
days ago.
2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I
That might be the easiest way. I've been trying to think today in church. See, I tell you, it's not good. I think that maybe is the easiest way to prorate it too, is to have it filled like on the 20th.
Yep,
Yeah.
I agree.
If you have it
Yeah.
filled on the 20th, I pay to have it filled
there's a recruit.
to files, right? And they'll be able to tell how much was in there that way.
Right.
And that's what we would.
Yeah.
That's what I would pay you for. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with oil. I probably will use files, but I will switch oil
Well,
guys when that time comes. By the
Don't
way.
pay us for any of the oil that's there because if we come to clean
Yeah,
in January,
Yeah, don't do that. Don't
we'll
worry about
we'll
any of
have
that
to
stuff.
use the oil anyway.
Okay.
So
Same thing with the gas.
yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
no prorations. You're saying?
that was
No.
going to be my next question.
That's the last thing you need to be. We're being
Yeah. Yeah.
more than reasonable with us here. I don't see any need for that stuff.
No.
And we can put that in writing.
Yeah.
Switch oil, switch propane. Switch is fine. Okay, so no, did I do that somewhere? Yes. Okay,
Going to be a wrench leaving this house.
pardon me?
It's going to be a wrench leaving this
Yes,
house.
I know.
But remember, Mama, you'll lose some things here, but
I
you'll
know.
gain some things coming down.
I know.
So we're going to put in a good garden. You'll have fresh tomatoes and cucumbers, and the yard is an empty pallet. You can tell me where you want flowers, and I'll be digging.
And it's all flat, Ma. You don't have to worry
And
about
it's all flat.
That's a dangerous offer. I would never, after being next door, I would never volunteer to plant or do things for her. That is a
That is
risky
true.
proposition,
That is
man.
true.
Yeah. And we're going to put a weeping willow. She has a long, deep yard, and we're going to put a weeping willow further back.
Yeah.
And we're building her a screen porch and a little deck,
And you're all on one floor,
all
Yeah.
on one floor.
on a little small, easy to heat house.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yep.
Inexpensive to
Easy
But
to
you don't
eat.
have to heat very much, I would guess. I don't know what your weather's like. You get
Yeah,
cold in the
well,
winter.
yeah, it's not. We're pretty mild. I mean, we
40's
get,
cold for you, right? Pretty much.
well in end of January, middle of January into February, we see some cold weather, but it's rare that. I think once in 30 years, the little brackish creek there, Poke Creek, froze and we could ice skate. That's once in 30 years. That was, the longest cold snap we've ever had.
You were telling the girls on the bank what town she was, what the house, where her house is.
Oh yes, it's 215 Mimosa Avenue.
I didn't know the address. 215
Mimosa, M-I-M.
Mimosa.
OSA.
Yeah.
O-S-A.
Yeah, Mimosa.
M-A-O-S-A.
Mimosa, like the flower.
Like the drink.
I was gonna say like.
Oh, like
drink.
the drink.
Me too.
In what town?
Colonial Beach.
Well, how do you spell it now? Mimosa?
M-I-M-O-S-A. Mimosa.
M-I?
Mimosa.
Oh, Mimosa.
Like
Mimosa.
champagne and orange juice?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And you want the zip?
Nope.
No.
Walk into, yeah, why
Yeah.
not?
22443. And you want my phone number for anything?
804-224-4104.
Now, come on, wait a minute
Yeah.
now. Let's not get ahead of me.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
804-224-4104.
Give me my cell number. I think it's in my emails too.
I think it is.
609-975-4142.
No, I'm going to go home. I'm going to go on the computer, and I'm going to look up under Google Earth, and I'm going to Google 215 Mimosa Avenue, and I'm going to have a peek at this place.
They only have the outside. They didn't have any interior. My real estate agent,
No photos.
no photos on
Yeah.
this.
No, he's talking about Google Street
Google
View.
Earth.
Yeah,
The
he's talking
satellite.
about the satellite
Oh.
view zoom in.
Okay,
And
yeah.
then sometimes you'll be able to go to a street view.
Street View, yep.
Yep.
But they've
And I'll see what the outside of this place looks like.
Okay.
it's a little box.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a.
You can let me know.
Yeah.
You can
I'll call you and tell you, no way, huh?
Okay.
Don't do that. It took me forever. Colonial Beach does not. They had a lot of houses, but were not appropriate for a 90-year-old. I mean,
Yeah, there was a lot of.
older houses that were this much of a step down into
Yeah.
the bathroom.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, we were both all
horrible
over
trying all
realtor.com.
2-story homes. So this is in the first established development in Colonial Beach, and the little 50s houses
Yep.
that were built. It's one of those. Yeah. So, yeah.
Looks nice.
Yeah. Yep.
Somebody flipped it, so they did a lot of work to it.
Yep. And the our home inspector went and was there for about 5 hours.
Ooh.
Yeah. Said, and I got a whole book, and he said that it a few minor things, but solid little house.
Tell them what
So-
the taxes are.
$936.
Incredible.
I pay that half a year.
I just had
Jeez.
a customer buy a place in Florida. He's a builder. He's Donnie Tupper over east of town here. He's a builder. And he bought a house that had been flipped. And evidently of course, the real estate market down there has been atrocious. The guy who sold it to him, I think, bought
That's
About
not good.
65
You can't sit
houses
back.
all
You
at
gotta get
once.
out of there.
Holy
Probably
mackerel.
for almost nothing. Pennies
Yep.
on the dollar.
and then he sent in his crew and, fixed new door casings, new kitchen, new tile, new.
Yeah.
And Donnie Tupper said, I couldn't have afforded to buy a house and fix it the same way and do as nice a job as the guy did to flip the house. So, they did nice work.
Yeah.
A lot of empty houses in Florida.
And a lot of taxes down there and practically zero.
Yeah.
That's about what you pay in Cherry Hill, I'll bet.
Yeah. What are the taxes on this house? Six.
Here?
I don't know what they are.
Almost 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine went down. They went from 60 62 to 6100.
Except Mama gets a break because of her, I guess, because
Yeah,
of her
she
age
gets
and
Age and
income.
income.
Yeah.
Probably income in Vermont.
So it's
Yeah.
3,000. She pays about
Yeah.
3,000.
Yeah.
But that's only Colonial Beach taxes. We also pay county tax.
Which is what, like $200 or something?
It
Yeah,
almost
probably not
equals.
much.
So Mom will end up paying about $1,800.
That's cheap though.
So it's cheap.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And my real estate agent said, now, you're going to make improvements, but you don't want to be the nicest house on the block. So he said, don't put more into it than you can get back out of it.
Yeah.
I think that's my whole list.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't
Shut-
bend that.
No shutters and storm windows. You knew that already. You were ahead of me on that
Yeah.
one.
That's she mentioned that when we were just down in Carrot Top. Make sure
Yeah.
that all this stuff stays remarked.
Yeah,
And
because there's screens and there's shutters.
There's a million shutters.
And there's a million shutters.
Well, because in the top of the carriage house, there's the shutters before they changed the windows that were like the library.
Right.
You know how they're.
Yep.
So there's tons of those up there too.
And there's actually good storm windows in the upper bedrooms. That, at least in my room, that's just above.
Yeah.
They're nice. They
Drives
slide
me crazy
easy.
at auctions sometimes. They have a hard time practically giving away the shutters. You know, they'll get $20 a pair or something for them. And then whoever buys the house,
Has to
it's
go spend
crazy.
quite a
Then they
bit.
have to go look or,
Right.
it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Just there's so little value to anybody else for them.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You all right, Mom?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Sorry.
No,
No,
what
and-
has to be, has
and,
to be.
She's good with the sale price, so
Yeah.
everybody's happy.
Thank
with
you.
that.
Thank you.
It was a fair. That's why I didn't negotiate with you. It was a fair
Yeah.
offer right out of the gate. I'm not. That's a good offer.
We
right out-
debated all night, and finally come up with a price. Rusty, Brian, and I sat around and said, "Yeah, that's fair. We think." I call him, and he said, "I give him the price." He said, "Sold."
Yeah.
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 So
you
the
did
real estate
fine,
market
huh?
up here is.
And there's a lot of work to be done.
Yes.
Yeah, in order to, like I said, if there's anything you want to know about issues with any of this stuff, I mean, I've had hands-on experience for the last 10, 15 years.
Well, the hot water heater is new, and Daddy didn't skimp on
No,
that.
he did. He put a good one
He
in.
put a good one
Yeah.
in. So that's what, only 2 years old?
Yeah, I guess the well pump is about 6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I changed that.
Yeah, and
No,
I've been
Dad
involved in
always
that
bought good
project
stuff.
once.
He never got.
Years ago, we pulled the cap to put new lines in the well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That was one of your father's projects.
I kept telling him that the pressure switch is bad and you're going to burn the pump up. Oh no, it's fine. Sure enough, pump burned up. And it's a Gould pump, so I buy Gould
Yeah.
pumps. So I had somebody I could call, and in Jersey, and he just had it right from the factory UPS here.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was a good time.
And as a little boy, I have no idea how old I was, but I was around